The goat who climbed the mountain high in the village of Pine Hill lived a young goat named Mellow. Mellow was small for his age, with soft brown fur and bright eyes that sparkled like morning dew. But what made him truly special was his dream bigger than any goat in his village had ever dared to imagine. Mellow wanted to climb Thunder Peak, the tallest, steepest mountain in the entire region. Its icy crown poked into the sky like a giant's tooth, and its cliffs were so sharp that even the bravest animals whispered about it with fear. Goats like us stay on the lower hills, his mother warned gently whenever Mellow talked about Thunder Peak. It's too dangerous, added the elders. Not even the strongest goats climb that high. But every evening, Mellow watched the sun paint the mountain gold. Every night, he dreamed of standing on its snowy summit, and deep in his heart he knew he had to try. The call to climb one autumn morning, a fierce wind swept through Pine Hill. The village elder, Old Bram, noticed Mellow staring at Thunder Peak again. "You really want to climb it, don't you?" Bram asked. Mellow nodded. "More than anything." Bram sighed. "The mountain is harsh. It tests strength, courage, and spirit. Why do you want to climb it so badly?" Mellow took a long breath. "I want to prove that even small goats can do big things." The elder was silent for a moment. Then he smiled. "Every great journey begins with one brave step. If you truly wish it, go, but be wise. The mountain teaches, but sometimes its lessons are hard." Mellow bowed gratefully. That night, he packed berries, nuts, and a tiny blanket. His mother tried to be strong, but Mellow saw her eyes glisten. "Promise me you'll come back," she whispered. "I will, Mama, I promise." And with that, Mellow set off before sunrise. The first challenge, the lower slopes of Thunder Peak, were gentle flowery meadows, smooth rocks, and fluttering butterflies. Mellow trotted happily. "This isn't so bad," he said aloud. But soon the path narrowed. Rocks grew sharper. The air thinned. A harsh wind howled between the cliffs, nearly knocking Mellow off his hooves. At one point, he reached a narrow ledge overlooking a deep canyon. His legs trembled. I can't do this," he whispered. But then he heard a faint chirp behind him. A tiny mountain sparrow flapped frantically, caught in brambles. Mellow's fear faded. Carefully, he made his way over and freed the bird. "You saved me," the sparrow chirped. "Thank you." Mellow managed a small smile. "I'm glad I could help." Before flying away, the bird said, "Remember this, courage grows when you use it to help someone." Those words warmed Mellow's heart. He took a deep breath and continued upward. The storm by noon, dark clouds gathered. Snow began to fall lightly at first, then heavier. Mellow pushed through it, but soon the ground was slippery and his hooves struggled for grip. A sharp crack echoed, a chunk of ice gave way beneath him. Mellow slipped, tumbling down until he grabbed onto a jutting rock. His legs shook. His heart pounded like thunder. "I can't. Hold on." But then he remembered his mother's face, her trembling voice, her hope. "I promised I'd come back," he whispered. "I can't give up." With all his strength, Mello pulled himself back onto the path. Exhausted and shivering, he found shelter under an overhang until the storm passed. As he rested, he discovered something surprising. He wasn't just climbing the mountain, he was climbing his own fears. The final stretch the next morning, the sky cleared. Mello climbed higher than he thought possible. The cliffs grew jagged, the wind colder, the air thin like glass. At last, he reached a tall vertical wall of stone, the final obstacle before the summit. No goat could climb that, Mello breathed. His legs felt weak, his heart felt small. But then he thought of Pine Hill, of the sparrow's words, of his dream, of proving that even the smallest goat could do something great. He placed one hoof on a crevice, then another. Slowly, painfully, he climbed. Halfway up, his back leg slipped. He dangled for a second, heart racing. "Don't fall, don't fall," he whispered. Summoning every last drop of strength, Mello pushed upward, and then his hoof reached the top. Mello pulled himself over the final ledge and stood on the snow-covered summit of Thunder Peak. The world stretched out beneath him, forests, rivers, villages, all glowing in the morning sun. "I did it," Mello whispered. Tears filled his eyes, happy, disbelieving tears. "I really did it." The return on the way down, the mountain felt different, less frightening, almost friendly. Mello walked carefully but confidently. When he finally returned to Pine Hill, the villagers rushed toward him in shock and joy. "You climbed Thunder Peak," one gasped. "Impossible." Another cried. But Mello simply smiled and nodded. His mother hurried forward, tears streaming. She nuzzled him tightly. "My brave little goat, you came back." Old Bram stepped up. "Mello, you have done what none of us dared to attempt. You have shown that courage doesn't depend on size, strength, or age, but on heart." The villagers cheered. Mello blushed, but inside he felt warm and bright. He had climbed the mountain. But even more importantly, he had discovered himself. Moral of the story: true courage is not the absence of fear, but the determination to move forward despite it. Even the smallest among us can achieve great things when they believe in themselves and refuse to give up.